بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأصلي وأسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد, Affirming al-Istawaa, answering those who try to misinterpret the statement of Imam Malik rahimahullah. Imam Malik rahimahullah, when asked about how Allah rose over the throne, istiwa, said it istiwa is known, its manner is unknown, believing in it is obligatory, and asking about it is a bidah, religious innovation. Majmul Fatawa Ibn Taymiyyah, number 3/58. Yahya bin Yahya said, a man came to Imam Malik and said, "O Abu Abdullah, Allah says, Ar-Rahman al-Arsh istawa, the most beneficent Allah istawa rose over the mighty throne in a manner that befits His Majesty." Surah Taha, Surah 20, verse 5. How did Allah rose over the throne? Istiwa. Yahya said, I did not see Imam Malik as furious and angry as I saw him that day, because of what the man had said, and his forehead was sweating and he bowed his head down, and distress was visible on him. Then he replied, the cave how Allah rose over the throne is incomprehensible, and istiwa is not unknown. Believing in it is wajib, obligatory, and asking about it is bidah, religious innovation. I do not think that you are anything but an innovator. Then he ordered that the man be expelled. Muqtasar al-Ulu al-Dahabi, with the checking of Sheikh Al-Albani 132 and al-Lailaki, Allahumma salli al-Likai, I think, Allahumma sallim sallim, in Al-Sunnah 664, and the wording is his. This was graded as Sahih al-Dahabi, that this Lailikai, I think it's a good book about Aqidah. This was graded as Sahih al-Dahabi and Sheikh Al-Albani. This was also reported by Ibn Qudama in Al-Ulu 88. Not unknown, meaning the meaning of the word istawa is known to everyone who understands Arabic. Rabi'a, who was Sheikh of Imam Malik, also had a similar response. Sufyan al-Thawri said, I was with Rabi'a ibn Abi Abdurrahman, and a man asked him, Ar-Rahman al-Istawa, the most beneficent Allah istawa rose over the mighty throne in a manner that befits His Majesty. Surah Taha, verse 20, Surah 20, verse 5. How did Allah rose over the throne? Istawa. Rabi'a replied, Al-Istawa is not unknown, and the cave of it is incomprehensible, and the message is from Allah, and upon the Prophet ﷺ was to convey, and upon us is to believe in it. Muqtasar al-Ulu al-Dahabi, with checking of Sheikh Al-Albani 111. Sheikh Al-Albani said, chain of this narration from Sufyan is Sahih, and Al-Lailaki also reported this in his Al-Sunnah from the narration from Ibn Uyayna that Rabi'a was asked Ibn Taymiyyah in Al-Hamawiyya said. This is reported by Al-Khailal, with the chain in which all the Eastern narrators are Imam in reliability. Allah musta'an. Sheikh Abdurrahman al-Mahmud said in explanation of Lumtatul Itiqad, Imam Malik was born in the year 93 Hijriya and died in the year 179 Hijriya. He faced some of the Bid'at religious innovation that became widespread during his time. During one such day, a man came to Imam Malik while he was teaching in the masjid and said, "O Abu Abdullah, how did Allah rose over the throne? Istiwa." Here we have two issues. The first issue, the questioner knows that the Quran affirms al-Istawa, and he himself is pointing to it by reciting the ayah. The second issue, the question is about the how of it, because he asks, how did Allah rise over the throne? We say this because the response of Imam Malik exposes the opposites of the creed of Al-Sunnah. He exposed those who did the wrong tafsir exegesis of this ayah. Imam Malik said Al-Istawa is not unknown. In some narrations it is mentioned that he said Al-Istawa is known and the how of it is not unknown. And he further said how of it is incomprehensible, and believing it is wajib, obligatory, and asking about it is bid'ah, religious innovations. The saying of Imam Malik Al-Istawa is not unknown means the meaning of Al-Istawa is as what has been mentioned in the Quran, and we are being addressed in the Arabic language. The meaning of Al-Istawa is known to us and not something unknown. But what is the thing that we are unaware of and do not comprehend? The thing that which we are unaware of and which is unknown to us is how Allah did it. We have not seen Allah, therefore we do not know how His attributes look like, but we affirm or believe in Allah's beautiful names and lofty attributes that have been mentioned in the book of Allah and the Sunnah of His Prophet ﷺ. But some of the deniers of al-Istawaa, of Allah over the throne, and who misinterpret it by saying al-Istila, meaning Allah conquered the throne. Al-Istila now. Responding to the saying of Imam Malik by saying he's saying that al-Istawaa is known means that it has been mentioned in the Quran. I respond to them by saying if Imam Malik intended as they are claiming, then he will have agreed with the questioner, because the questioner said, "Oh Abu Abdullah, the most beneficent of the throne, how did he rise?" Then the response of Imam Malik that al-Istawa is mentioned in the Quran will have no value, because of the questioner already knows that. The questioner will have responded by saying, "I do not ask you about this because I already know that al-Istawa is mentioned in the Quran." But what Imam Malik really intended was to affirm and proclaim the methodology of the Salaf al-Salih, Allah rahimahullah, that al-Istawa is known, meaning we know the meaning of al-Istawa because it has been addressed to us in the Quran. In the Arabic language, al-Istawa has several meanings. Ala, exalt, irtifa, irtifani, ascend, istaqir, and istaghar, establish, sa'ada, and rise. All these words have been reported from the Salaf rahimahumullah, so it is clear that al-Istawa is known, and since it is already mentioned in the Quran numerous times, then this matter is axiomatic, that is no further evidence is required, and it's not possible that Imam Malik was ignorant about it. Rather, the questioner himself mentioned it, that this question is about the how of it and how Allah rose over the throne is incomprehensible. This is the methodology of the Salaf rahimahullah. They affirm the attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, affirming it in a literal sense and not metaphorical, affirming without discussing how or likening him to his creation, and without denying any of his attributes or interpreting them in a way different from the apparent meaning. And the Salaf said how Allah rose over the throne, then no one knows about this except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This Allah ta'ala mentioned that he rose over the throne, but it Allah not be described how he ta'ala did it. So we affirm what is mentioned in the text, and we stop where it stops without misinterpreting the meaning. And the same with Imam Malik rahimahullah, to believe in it is wajib, obligatory, meaning it is obligatory from the knowledge of the Salaf al-Salih rahimahullah to affirm al-Istawa. It's not possible to interpret it in a way different from the apparent meaning. And the same with Imam Malik, and asking about it is bid'ah, meaning questioning about how Allah did it is bid'ah, and not about affirming it, because it has been reported that the Prophet ﷺ said, "If my companions are mentioned, then keep quiet. If the stars are mentioned, then keep quiet. And if the divine decree is mentioned, then keep quiet." Related by At-Tabarani in Al-Kabir 14:7, 10:448, and agreed as Sahih in Sahih li-ghayrihi by Shaykh al-Albani in Sahih 34 and Sahih al-Jami 545. So does this hadith mean that we do not speak about having faith in al-Qadr, divine decree, and that we do not speak about the merits of the companions? The answer, no. Rather, it means that when al-Qadr is mentioned and people fall into dispute and falsehood, then refrain from speaking about it, and that we should refer the matter back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Affirming belief in al-Qadr is from the foundation of the religion, that it is one of the pillars of Iman, as the Prophet ﷺ said, and you affirm your faith in the divine decree about good and evil. Sahih Muslim 1. Therefore, refrain from speaking here means not to dispute about it upon falsehood. And a similar thing has been mentioned about the companions. So does that mean that we never mention the merits of the companions? The answer is no. What is intended in this narration is not to speak ill of the companions, as many of the Ahlul Bidah do. We either speak good about them or remain silent, and we should not dispute about what took place between them. Then Imam Malik ordered that the man be expelled, meaning Imam Malik ordered that he be expelled to discipline him. And as a lesson for his student, it is important to try to stop the Ahlul Bidah from spreading their Bidah among the masses, and this has been the methodology of the Salaf Saleh. Some people think that opening channels for discussion leads to an increase in knowledge and understanding the reality, and that people should be willing to have a discussion with every Bakar and Zaid that comes along with a notion. And this is against the methodology of the Salaf. What is required from those who are upon the methodology of the Salaf al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah is not to be complacent with the Ahlul Bidah and to try to prevent them from spreading their bidah. During the Khilafah of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, a person by name Sabiq ibn Asal began to spread the misconception and doubt about the religion. So when this came So when these people came to Umar radiallahu anhu, he did not let him speak, but rather he commanded them. He commanded and he be beaten till he said, "O Amir al-Mu'minin, by Allah, all my debts have gone." But if a situation arises where the bid'ah becomes so spread among the the Muslims have been put to trials by it, and al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah are not able to suppress it, then in that case it becomes a means to debate with Ahlul Bid'ah. But that doesn't mean that we give them the opportunity to speak about and spread the bid'ah freely. Many men fell into bid'ah because they could not find the answer, so they were overtaken by doubt and suspicion. This was the case of many learned men. Then what about the common people, and what about the women and children? So from the knowledge of the Salaf rahimahullah is to proclaim the truth and to teach the matters of pertaining to Aqidah with proofs and evidence, so that the soul feels satisfied and that the Iman gets stronger, and not to engage in debate except when there is a necessity and when there is a danger which cannot be removed except through this. تيسير لمسة الاعتقاد والشيخ عبد الرحمن المحمود، translated by فهد باميم. أي نعم.